What's up, Knicks fans? We are back again for another season with our friends at FANATICS Sportsbook. And of course, that means we're talking about FANCASH. Now, most sportsbooks, their rewards are just fluff, but FANCASH is the ultimate sports currency. You see, when you bet with FANATICS Sportsbook, you get up to 10% FANCASH back on your wagers, win or lose. And did I mention that they're giving away millions in FANCASH this year, and you can use that FANCASH on anything in the FANATICS universe? Go check it out for yourself and download the app today. FANATICS Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Betting and Sweating. My name is Andrew Claudio, presented by the fine folks at FANATICS Sportsbook. I want to just say something at the top. In light of recent events, it has come to my attention and really just come to my conviction that we want to make sure that all of you watching this know that we emphasize gamble responsibly. If you don't want to bet, you should not have to bet. You do not need to bet or gamble or take part in any of this. But if you would like to, we'll of course encourage having some fun with us over the next 30 minutes. But we want to emphasize and stress that at the top. Gamble responsibly. There'll be a disclaimer and a 1-800 number that you can check out. If you have a gambling problem, please gamble responsibly. We want to make sure that is emphasized at the very top. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Betting and Sweating. Again, I am Andrew Claudio. That is Mensa Smith. We are here to preview the Knicks matchup against the Miami Heat. The Knicks take their talents down to South Beach and play at MSG South Beach, also known as the Kaseya Center. Mensa, first of all, how are you, sir, on this fine Sunday?
Sunday started off awful with the news of Nick Mangold passing. As you guys know here, I am a Jets fan, and I'm in my Jets jersey today because the day got a lot better with the New York Jets in Cincinnati, Ohio, winning a game for Ohio State and New York Jet legend Nick Mangold. So that was awesome. I'm in a great mood, and I'm sure as I'm hoping that the momentum that the Jets are going to give to the Knicks, who are also on the road tonight against Miami. Let's see if we can get to 3-0. So I'm all pumped up, and I'm ready to root, and I'm ready to get into this segment of Betting and Sweating.
Even as someone who has made it very public about his diehard opt-out, I obviously felt something when Nick Mangold was. Yeah, go Lions, exactly. Might be go Colts this year. Big fan of Nick Mangold. Some of my prime Jet years for sure. It ruined my morning seeing his passing, but more on the results of that game later when we get to maybe some bonus bets that already cashed on my end. We're going to go through our Betting and Sweating picks. The Knicks take on the Miami Heat. Tip-off is in about an hour. We do not have a starting five. It looks like Josh Hart's minutes restriction is done. Mitch Robinson is, of course, out for this game. And Miles McBride is out with personal reasons. So we'll see if we get an announcement of a starting five live throughout this game. But we've got some picks for us to go through throughout this show. And Mensa, we're going to start with our 1-point pick. Give a spread, money line, or total bet, game total, or team total from this game. Let's start with you, sir. What is your 1-point pick?
1-point pick. I'm going to go with the Knicks against the spread here. I believe the spread right now is 2.5 or 3. I like the Knicks. I just do. And if you're going to take money line when the spread is as soft as it is at -3, I personally don't expect this to be a close game. I think the Knicks out-talent the Miami Heat by a wide margin, especially with Tyler Hero not playing. So I think that, the Knicks on the road. Now, look, it is a Sunday early Sunday game. And the New York Knicks were in Miami last night. So listen, Saturday nights in Miami, millionaires and billionaires and wealthy people alike usually have a rough Sunday morning after a Saturday night in Miami. So there's always that peril. But when it comes to the basketball, when it comes to roster versus roster, I like the New York Knicks to cover the spread here. So I'm taking Knicks -3.
So you might not like where I go with my picks today, Mensa, because I'll just start here. My team total bet that I'm going with is Miami Heat over 115.5 at plus 110. Game 1 against the Orlando Magic, a team that's allegedly going to have a very good defense, has had a very good defense. This team scored 121 points. Game 2 against the Memphis Grizzlies and Jaren Jackson Jr. and some decent defenders on that team. They scored 86 points in the first half en route to 146 points for the game. This is a team that could score the ball. Their new pace, their new offensive style actually leads to them scoring some points. And I've liked the results, but there have been moments where the process with the Knicks defense actually lends to some open looks. We will talk about their 3-point defense in just a second. But if you're looking for positive value, the Miami Heat have scored at least 120 points in their first 2 games, are averaging close to 130 points in their first 2 games, and they're back home for the first time this season. So you're looking for some positive value on 116 points for them to score tonight. The Knicks could win this game 125-120, and it would still mean this over hits. So I will start my picks for tonight with Miami over 115.5 points. We now go to you. I guess, no, it's my turn for the 2-point bet. An op bet, as I've been told to call it, an opponent-themed bet for 2 points where we pick something for the Miami Heat. And speaking of Mensa, and I'll give you the floor again to tell me why I'm the worst person ever for Miami Heat bets. Bam Adebayo. I'm taking him 2+ 3-pointers made. So Bam Adebayo last year, toward the end of the season, started taking more threes, and as a result, got up to 3 threes a game for the first time in his career. After the majority of his career averaging around 1 or 1.5 threes per game, he got up to around 3. Bam Adebayo in his first 2 games, as I pull it up now, in his first 2 games with the Miami Heat this season, has taken 13 threes. He went 1 for 5 in the first game, but then went 4 for 8 in the second one. This is a guy that's going to take threes in this new offense that the Heat have. And you're getting plus value for him to just hit 2 in this game. So I'm going to take Bam Adebayo 2+ 3-pointers made at plus 125. Mensa, your thoughts and my new appreciation, I guess, for the Miami Heat, and your pick for the 2-point bet.
So one thing I will say is that if you're betting against Cat in the drop, you're probably going to make some money.
You think?
I don't think that's a bad bet at all. I didn't realize that Bam had been taking. I didn't think Bam was taking that many threes. So if you're just going to get 2, yeah, that's excellent. That's a great bet there. Appreciation for them. So I live with the bet I'm taking, but I'm going to go opposite with Wiggins under what 16.5 is the line. I think I am taking under 16.5. Why am I taking him under 16.5? It has nothing to do with Andrew Wiggins and everything to do with being fully vigorous this season. He's going to have to see OG Anunoby or he's going to have to see Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, or Mikal Bridges, who are going to make his life very difficult. And he's not that great in the first place. So I'm going to go Andrew Wiggins under 16.5 points at minus 130.
So I'm just going to go through Andrew Wiggins' box score in the first 2 games to see where this lands as far as I don't actually not sure. So I watched the Orlando game, shout out to Game Theory, and watched the first half because I'd seen enough when they were up by 39 at halftime against the Grizzlies. So I didn't need to see anything else. Andrew Wiggins scored in the first game. So in the most recent game, he scored 10 points. And then in the first game, he scored 18. So you're not that far off, Mensa. Like there are other options. I think that's the best case for this under hitting is that they're really spreading the ball with this new offense. I'm telling you, this is going to be a different Miami Heat offense that we see tonight with the pace. It may not be as efficient as we're used to, or I guess as a pace is supposed to dictate, but they're not going to be the offense that we're used to. They just don't have a point guard, so their way around that is to try and never have half court offense be run. So let's get to our 3-point bets, our parlay for tonight. Put together a good parlay, 2 to 3 legs max. Mensa, where did you go with your parlay? Mensa, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah. All
Okay.
right. Can you hear me?
Yes, you can. Yes, I can. I said, yeah, I can.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. It looks like there's a bit of a lag here. Okay.
You're good.
So, all right. So, man, I didn't realize I need to make a quick pivot, but I will make a quick pivot here. So, I got Cat to get 10 rebounds. Cat to get 10 rebounds. I got the cap, Jalen Brunson for 5 assists. And I had Deuce 2 threes, but it seems like Deuce quickly. We're just going to pivot that to OG Anunoby 2 threes. I'm not sure what the odds are at the moment. I can look that up for you live. But instead of Deuce, we're going to go with OG, especially because with Deuce out, I anticipate Josh Hart will be getting the starting nod. It didn't seem like Porty played in game 2, so I don't expect him to go from not playing to being in that starting lineup. That means that if Josh Hart is inserted into the starting lineup, and even if Ariel Porty does get the start, the Knicks are going to need more three-point volume from a guy like OG Anunoby. So I'm going to take OG Anunoby to make 2 threes here, with Jalen Brunson getting 5 assists and Karl-Anthony Towns getting 10 rebounds.
I'm looking up the same thing.
We're going to get those odds real quick.
Oh, I'm looking up those odds for you. So
live
that lag is a thing, isn't it?
It seems like it. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll make it work today. So I went defensive with my parlay. OG Anunoby 3+ stocks, that's steals plus blocks, plus Mikal Bridges 3 stocks, 3+ steals plus blocks at plus 400. Both of these gentlemen have hit both of these numbers. Our Wingstop Generals have hit both of these in each of their first 2 games. And you're getting it at plus 400. So it just feels like good money for a team that doesn't have a point guard in the Miami Heat. That these two will be, and a team that turns the ball over a ton with, again, their new pace. This seems like a good value bet. We're gonna try and speed through this just so we don't avoid the lag as much as possible. Let's swing for the fences, Mensa. A home run bet of plus 300 or greater. Greater. Home run bet of 300 or greater. Man, I'm back in New York. Simone Fontecchio had 4 threes in the first half. Now, this isn't fully backed up by data. It's just he took a ton in game 1 against Orlando and just made a ton in game 2 against the Grizzlies. And I figure if he gets another hot shooting night, the Knicks have allowed a lot of threes so far. I think this is a decent home run swing that Fontecchio, who is playing decent minutes, or at least a ton of minutes for the Miami Heat, this is a direction to go. So I'll go Fontecchio at 3+ 3-pointers made at plus 400. What say you, sir?
All right, so I'm going to take Karl-Anthony Towns to get a 30 ball against the Miami Heat. The last time we saw Karl-Anthony Towns on an offense that did not dictate that he was guarded by a wing play against the Miami Heat, he lit those boys up in their own building for 44 points. So I'm expecting, even though Josh Hart did get the starting nod, I'm anticipating he gets the starting nod, even though Josh Hart will be playing a pretty significant role tonight. I expect that Karl-Anthony Towns is going to light up Kel'el Ware or Bam Adebayo or whoever they put on him, because Karl-Anthony Towns is excellent, and I think we're going to get a breakout game from him tonight against the Miami Heat.
Well, that brings us to our 5-point pick, our official betting and sweating pick for tonight. Again, presented by FANATICS Sportsbook. The guys all made their picks. They're available in the app. You can check out the recap of how they did on the KFS postgame show. Mensa, what is your official pick, your 5-point bet for betting and sweating tonight?
I am officially taking Josh. I'm going to take Josh Hart over. I had it at 10.5 rebound and assist this morning. It's probably, I don't even know if it's locked right now, but that is the bet that I'm going to take. Josh Hart, in his last game, I think he had something insane, like 8 or 9 rebounds in 18 minutes. With the anticipated minutes bump that Josh Hart is going to get, I like this line all the way up to, honestly, I like it up to like 12.5, 13.5. So to get it at 10.5 rebounds and assists at minus 120, I think that's a sure shot tonight. We're going to go back to the heartbreak kid, Josh Hart, and he's going to make us some money.
Love it. So I'm gonna go to your guy, Karl-Anthony Towns. Points, rebounds, and assists, because I also remembered the Miami Heat game from last year in Miami, where he went off for like 40 and 12, and really the first game the Knicks figured out how to use Karl-Anthony Towns. So I'm going at 36 plus points, rebounds, and assists at minus 130 for Cat in this game. That's my official pick. That's Mentz's official pick. Hopefully, this is, I mean, both of our first official picks for the 2025-26 season. Hopefully, we come up with some winners in this one. Some bonus bets. We're going to start with you. Name both of your bonus bets, Mensa. So we're going to give a 1-point bet, a spreader money line from a different game going on tonight, and a spreader money line from a different a player prop from a different game going on tonight. So both of yours. Let's go with yours first. Your spreader money line.
All right, so we're gonna go Steelers money line tonight against the Green Bay Packers. You're getting plus money on Aaron Rodgers versus his original team. You're also getting Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers at home. I like that a lot. If you're going to get plus money there, I just think the value is there. And then on top of that, TJ Watt's the best defender in pro football, so I expect him in prime time to have a really big game. So I'm going to go Steelers money line at plus 130. And then we're going to go to a familiar face for the prop bet, and we're going to take RJ Barrett over 17.5 points. RJ Barrett has had a hot start to the season. Knicks fans, we are familiar with that. And he has not gotten a migraine yet. So we're going to continue to ride the hot hand. Take RJ Barrett to keep scoring, being the number 2 option next to a guy in Brandon Ingram. Really excited to see it. He's going to keep going on. And then when we get those news that he either has like the flu or gets a migraine, we will begin to take his unders. But that news, ladies and gentlemen, has not arrived yet. So we're going to continue to ride the RJ Barrett hot hand. I like the value of getting him to score at least 18 points.
He's been off to a hot start. More specifically, he's been off to an efficient start. You want to talk about a team playing with pace right now? That's the Toronto Raptors up north. Speaking of up north, I was this close to taking something when I knew I was going to be doing this tonight. I was going to take something Blue Jays, but the lines have just gone the other way that I don't, and my confidence has just gone the other way toward the Dodgers, to be honest. So I'm just not going anywhere near a World Series pick. So here's where I'm going to start. CeeDee Lamb, this is a live bet that you could make anytime touchdown plus 160 against the Denver Broncos for CeeDee Lamb. That's the first one I'll make. The second one is a bet that already cashed. And I promise you, this may be cheating, Mensa, but not the Terry Rozier style. This is very mild when I say this, that I went out east today to celebrate my father's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. And I missed most of the Jets game. And when I got back into my garage, I looked at my phone in the Fanatics Sportsbook app, and I saw that the Jets were plus 1,100 on the money line to win and come back and win. It was 31-16. I then saw the over was at 55.5 and was like, that's like 6 points away. Like, these teams just need to score one more touchdown, and it's the beginning of the fourth quarter. I didn't think the Cincinnati Bengals ever deserved to be plus 1,100 favorites, so I decided to parlay Jets money line, live money line going into the fourth quarter with the over, and it's how we ended up with this, folks. My first bet has already hit for today on my bonus bet. So this is just me saying pay attention to live money lines on Fanatics Sportsbook in the app when you get the chance. So shout out to the Jets, shout out to Nick Mangold. It definitely looked like the Jets had some extra help today. But those are our betting and sweating picks. Mensa, do you have any final thoughts before you get out of here?
Yeah, my final thoughts are what they always are, and especially on a day where, as a New York Jets fan who's never seen this team win a Super Bowl, I lost one of my legends, one of my childhood heroes in Nick Mangold. So again, guys, enjoy the journey, appreciate the players and the athletes who are out there continuing to put their bodies and put their careers on the line for you, and just try your best to enjoy the sport that brings us together today. We're watching basketball. If you're a football fan, if you are a international football fan, if you're a baseball fan, hockey, whatever your sport is, enjoy the journey. I can't stress that enough. Nick Mangold never won a Super Bowl, is an absolute legend in all of our hearts and all of our minds. And there's nothing that can take that away. Why? Because we chose to enjoy the journey. So Game 3 tonight, New York Knicks versus the Miami Heat. The journey continues, the marathon continues, and we will be there every step of the way giving you guys coverage. So continue to enjoy the journey.
That's extremely well said. Let's just end there. Thank you for watching, everybody. Let's go Knicks.
Must be 21 or over? Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Not available in all states. Terms apply. See Fanatics Sportsbook app.